Hey everyone, back again for another video. Just want to get back into some of these like higher levels of thinking. The biggest thing, the reason why I want to talk about these things is because I think we really need to start working on getting back to some semblance of moral alignment. Like I don't want to stop people from doing things that they want to do. I don't want to really trample on their parade, you know, when they go out having fun and whatever. It's not that. It's really, it's what I'm more worried about is how people are treating each other. Um, a good example of what I mean is recently something that came up in the news is how a 17-year-old boy, after being refused a phone number, this is what my understanding of it, uh, pushed a girl and then proceeded to stomp on her. Where where does that come from? Like where is this okay? Like even when, for instance, like okay, it, how it makes sense? How does it make sense? It really doesn't make sense. So for somebody will have the say, single household families are causing this or whatever. Um, last I checked, most of the time, that is, the single household is the mom. So that means that boy thinks it's okay to stomp on their mom. Like how do we not? I don't understand this. I really don't. Like I understand maybe the degradation of manners or something like that, but like how how is it okay to actually hurt someone? And that's what I kind of really want to figure out. But to start off with, um, myself being a man, I think men need to actually like start stepping up a little bit here. And the excuse that they don't got nothing to look forward to, relationships suck, and all that stuff. It still doesn't mean that you get to hurt someone. And so where I'm going with this today, at least, so there's I personally think he's an awesome guy, and he is on YouTube, and his name is Dwayne, and his channel is Dry Creek Wrangler School. Now, his profession is horse riding, but he has some very profound words. If anyone wants to listen to him, and he's a cigar smoker, which is kind of cool and everything. But so I want to talk about this. Men need to start, men, boys, they need to start being taught that they are responsible for their actions. And one of the things is like as as a boy or a man, as we grow up, we make a lot of mistakes. We do. Like we straight up make a lot of mistakes. And actually, it's sadly the way we learn the best too. It seems, to me at least. But when we make a mistake, if we can't learn this basic task as a young person, a young, and I'm gonna say person too, because it, women could learn from this too. And this video, you messed up. Now what? Is something that's very profound, and I want to let's. I just want to take a snip of it because it's the now what that everybody needs to learn to do. And so I'll let this play a little bit and then I'll talk about it too.
You messed up. Now what? What do you do now? Where do you go from here? What is there? Is there a tomorrow? Is there a tomorrow? Well, yes. So I'm gonna lay some things out for you. All right. If you've messed up, the very first step, the very first thing that you've got to do is you've got to stop. Whatever it is you did, don't do it no more. I shouldn't even have to say that, um, but that's the first thing. You know, it's such a thing these days for somebody to do something wrong and say, I'm sorry, and go back and do it again, and say, I'm sorry, and go back and do it again. After a while, you get the feeling they weren't really sorry. They were never sorry to start with. There's a big difference between being sorry I did something and being sorry I got caught. Uh, and there's a big difference between not wanting to do something and not wanting to get caught doing something. All right? So for you to get past this and get through this, whatever it is, first thing you have to do is you got to stop doing it. You have to quit. Now, some things I understand. Some things they're chemical. All right, if you're alcohol addicted or it involves drugs, sometimes you need help. Gambling. All right, you went to Vegas and you spent your wife and yours life saving and gambled away the house mortgage and the college tuition for the kids and whatever. You may need some help. Excuse me, been fighting a cold for 2 weeks. But
So that's the first part I want to have. This is something that needs to be discussed. Saying sorry and not actually being sorry is one of the biggest problems we have in society today. I'm not even there is no sugarcoating it. And why that is, like where that comes from, I wish I knew. Some days I think I do, and sometimes I don't. Is it upbringing? Maybe. But personally, I think the biggest problem is that so many people are doing it now that everyone is thinking that they just can get away with it. And then I want to move on to another video of his because they join together so well. And I kind of post this one. He doesn't have any bookmarks on it um, for easy access, but about 200 or 200 200 um, 2 minutes and 24 seconds is where I kind of have it. I mean, something you should maybe watch from the beginning, but it's about forgiveness. So you have one side of the coin saying, you know, um, you know, you you messed up, right? But the other side of the coin is okay, you messed up, but if you're not held accountable for it, like okay, if you're not held accountable for it, you well, you think you can get away with it, so not getting caught. So there's two sides to this. There's one side where you shouldn't do it and you should learn how to say sorry and actually mean it. And then the other side of it, which is I think the bigger problem, what I where I understand is that the burden of forgiveness is the video, but he makes a very valid point about forgiveness.
Harder on victims than they need to be. We add to the burden. We add to the burden of people who are victims of bad behavior. We add to that. Now, you say, Dwayne, how do we add to that? We encourage and insist and demand that the wronged, the victim, always bears the responsibility of forgiving the malefactor, the person who's done the wrong. That is not biblical. It's not wise. It's not logical. It's not reasonable. It's not helpful. All right. Now, before you 30-year veteran Christians who never actually study your Bible jump on here and say the Bible tells us to forgive. The Bible does not tell us to forgive. Now you think about that one for a minute. You say, Dwayne, I got this verse, I got that verse. You got nothing. All right. The Bible does not tell us to forgive everybody that does us wrong. The Bible tells us to forgive those who come to us and confess their wrongdoing and ask for forgiveness. That is two totally different things.
And just like in the previous video, you have to mean it. So when people don't mean it, there's a problem. And then if we forgive someone without them asking for forgiveness, there's a problem. So what I see is that society in a whole needs to rethink what is acceptable. If we forgive without punishing or holding accountable, for instance, I mean, I I actually have an instance recently where I had what I would call an acquaintance or friend. They did some stupid stuff, and they are having some issue with an addiction. And I would say that when they got caught, they didn't get punished bad enough because I think, well, well, it's their first offense or whatever, and so on and so forth. But maybe we should be going. Maybe I mean they didn't even force them to go to rehab, and I think he needs rehab. And I've kind of said that to him, but who knows if they, you know, when it's an addiction, they don't necessarily listen, and so there's not much I can do about it. But so our society is not holding people accountable, and so people think they can get away with it. And since they think they can get away with it, they don't even have to think about if they're sorry or not. S- It's probably the first thing we have to work on. What's going to happen to that 17-year-old who stomped a girl's head in? He's 17, he's a minor. Well, he did something bad enough that it's beyond being a minor. we really need to start working on society a little bit. Who cares about um, who's the president, or who cares? I mean, if we just let everything fall apart anyway, then what's the point? I don't know. So that's my little 2 cents. Come go and check out Dry Creek Wrangler School. Um, it's something that if you're searching for a better moral compass, or if you're lost, he has, and it's this isn't the only kind of stuff he's got. He's got. I mean, you can, if you want to listen to him talk about horse riding or breaking a horse or whatever, and you know, or just he's got some philosophy stuff. I honestly think he is probably one of the best. He's got a really good like dad vibe, like the kind that you want. And I mean, he even makes a video at some point. I've been watching him for years now. Um, he even can say that he wasn't the greatest at something. He can say, I'm pretty sure he even said that he's not the greatest dad. And honestly, at this point, he's got some better advice than some of the other dads I've ever heard of, or seen, or even even sometimes I debate on if he's well better than me as a dad. I'm not the greatest dad, I don't think, but you know that's beside the point. But this is long enough. I hope that you check him out. Maybe find this interesting, or maybe even might inspire you to start your own journey into bettering yourself. For people's futures, everybody's future. If we can start working on it, that would be great. If not, well, I don't know. I'm probably scared of it. So have a good night.